Here's a wild fact. Back in 1983, a massive Boeing 767, one of the most advanced jets of its time, ran out of fuel mid-flight and still managed to land safely. That's right, this giant airliner glided to the ground with no engines, no power, and no modern safety net. It's a story that sounds almost impossible, but it really happened. Let's talk about the legendary Gimli Glider, an incident that's become a case study in aviation schools around the world. Picture this. You're cruising at 41,000 feet, the hum of the engines in the background, when suddenly, everything goes eerily quiet. The engines stop. There's just silence, broken only by the rush of wind past the fuselage. The cabin, once filled with the steady drone of flight, is now tense and uncertain. This was Air Canada Flight 143. At the controls were Captain Bob Pearson and First Officer Maurice Quintal, two pilots who would soon become legends in aviation history for their quick thinking and nerves of steel. So, how does a state-of-the-art jet run out of fuel? It all came down to a simple but disastrous math mistake. Canada had just switched to the metric system, and someone mixed up pounds and kilograms when calculating the fuel load. Instead of the required amount, the plane was loaded with only about half the fuel it needed for the journey. No one caught the error until it was too late. Midway through the flight, both engines sputtered and died. Suddenly, there was no power, no thrust, and no backup systems. The cockpit went dark, literally. The pilots lost most of their instruments, and the plane was now a 132-ton glider, falling silently through the sky. Most airline pilots never train for a total engine failure at altitude. But Captain Pearson had a secret weapon. He was an experienced glider pilot in his spare time. That unique skill set was about to make all the difference for the 69 people on board. With no engines, the controls became heavy and sluggish. Oxygen masks dropped from the ceiling as the cabin lost pressure. The temperature inside started to rise, and passengers braced for the unknown, gripping their seats and hoping for a miracle. Scanning the ground below, the crew spotted a decommissioned airfield, Gimli. But there was a catch. The runway wasn't empty. It was being used for a family day event, with kids racing go-karts and families picnicking right on the tarmac. The pilots had to make a split-second decision. Pearson and Quintal lined up for what's called a dead stick landing, meaning no engines, no second chances. Every move had to be perfect, because there was no way to go around and try again. To lose altitude quickly without picking up dangerous speed, Pearson put the massive jet into a sideslip, a maneuver usually reserved for tiny gliders, not commercial airliners. It was a risky move, but it worked. As the plane touched down, the landing gear partly collapsed. Sparks flew from the undercarriage, tires burst, and the jet skidded down the runway. Passengers held their breath, gripping their seats, while families and racers on the ground watched in disbelief. Miraculously, no one died. In fact, there wasn't even a single serious injury. The Gimli Glider became an instant legend, a story of survival and quick thinking that's still talked about today. It's a story of luck, skill, and pure nerves, where a calm head and a bit of glider experience turned a disaster into a miracle. So the next time you board a plane, remember, pilots train for the unexpected, and sometimes the most unlikely skills can save the day. The Gimli Glider is proof that even in the worst situations, human ingenuity and courage can make all the difference. If this blew your mind, hit subscribe for more unbelievable aviation stories.